is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Now we're ready to talk. I can turn on the mic there. By the way, it's land found on the text line. I can always tell new listeners. Big O talking soccer? What? Like I've been the only guy in radio for 30 years that's been talking soccer.
You have indeed been the only guy in radio for 30 years that has been talking soccer.
It's like land found. You can always tell the new people on the show. Like,
bro, that was so thorough and educational and enjoyable.
But I gotta ask you this: did you even know Franco Panizo was a coworker of yours?
No, I was just about to tell you that. I'm like, you're like, so you get Finance work in the center. I'm like, what? Who? Like,
I knew it.
I wrote his name down. I'm like, I'm gonna call my boss. I'm like, where has this guy been hiding?
Well, they just brought him on because finally, remember, we lost our boy, Kobe Price.
Yes,
Kobe's covering the Magic, and so Kobe was covering Inter. And he was doing FAU at the same time. And then they would use him for other things.
They moved him to UM.
Right, and they moved him to UM. Exactly. Right.
So this is our Inter Miami cover.
Right. Yeah, and he's really good.
I am not a big, I'm not a big soccer guy.
Oh, I know.
I did see the what's his name? The muckraker who Billy Corbin. Yes. Did you see Billy Corbin's 2-minute thing about Miami's MLS stadium using
What did he say? What did he say? About the golf course you're talking about?
Yeah, to use David Sampson to basically explain how we're being, as Miami citizens, which I am a Miami citizen, we're being royally screwed again on this land deal for the Miami.
Well, here's the problem I have with that whole land deal thing. They never did anything with the land. It's a deadbeat golf course that 10 people go play. No, by the way, I hear a lot of the day judges go there. So that's where a lot of the stank comes from.
Listen,
they want to save the course for themselves, but overall,
no. That land is priority land. It would probably 3 times,
But they do nothing with it. They have
no. They're doing nothing with it,
and they weren't going to unearth and clean all the crap that's underneath since it was a.
It doesn't matter. You could sell the land or lease the land for 3 times what they're selling it to David Beckham and his people for. And here's my thing.
But that's a story for every arena and stadium that's ever
absolutely. And I'm a big believer in sports welfare. And me and Billy Corbin, we fight and have issues about that. I grew up in the backyard of Carroll City. I don't call it Miami Gardens. My father and all of my community worked there when Joe Robbie Stadium was being built.
You don't call it East Palm Springs North?
I got my first job working at Joe Robbie Stadium and worked there all throughout my high school years. All of that community that you see around there, which is built on Indian land, and I know it's Indian land, it's Indian burial ground because I grew up there. So I know it's Indian burial ground, and it was always sand and lime rock because it's Indian burial ground.
Mm-hmm.
That whole community would not be there if it wasn't for that stadium. And now, fast forward, if you go to where the Marlins Park is and look at that community right now, it doesn't represent anything that you remember of that little Havana community, right? Correct?
And, no. Cubans have moved out of Little Havana. It's actually, I call it's Little Americas. Little Americas.
Yeah, and it is the hottest property right now. You can't go buy a house in that area or community in that area for probably less than $700,000.
Well, that's because they're going east from the water. They've been going east, and so that's kind of what they're doing there. What's that called? Gentrifying it or whatever.
No, it's gentrification, but the stadium is the centerpiece of that land and that community. And my issue, and so I've always been a supporter of public welfare, especially if you want to keep your sports teams. It was, do you want the Marlins? Yes or no? If you want the Marlins, you need to give public welfare in order to keep the Marlins. Now, I wish the deal wasn't as bad as it is, but it is what it is.
Well, but I don't mind a deal with a good owner like a Mickey Arison or a Stephen Ross or Jorge Mas. You don't do deals with Jeffrey Loria. That's the problem. You got to pick and choose the people you do business with. Mickey Arison, he has his ships here, dude. It means something to him that Miami is good and that the arena looks great and everything. That's why they do everything first class, because Miami means something to Mickey. Just like the late Wayne Huizenga, South Florida meant something to him because he's entrenched here. And so is Stephen Ross. He's entrenched here. I know he lives also in New York, but he has lots of businesses here. So he cares about this community.
He lives in Palm Beach.
Those kind of owners are the ones that you can do business with. But you have to pick and choose, bro. The Loria one, you should have never made a deal with a scumbag like that, dude. That's the problem.
And then the Marlins would be the San Antonio Marlins.
Well, whatever, bro. And then you'll bring back another team. I mean, what the hell?
Hey, you're right.
The New Orleans has gotten multiple basketball teams, right? What the hell? Seattle will get a second basketball team.
You're right.
Hell, Atlanta got 2 hockey teams.
I don't.
They had the Atlanta Flames, which are the Calgary Flames, and then they had the Atlanta Thrashers, who then became, I think, is it the Nashville Predators? Somebody help me out there. I forgot. They moved them, and I think they became the Predators or something. Something like that.
You're making a point. It's who you're doing business. I don't know the Jorge Masses, and I don't know the Beckhams and all of that.
No, but I know Mas. He'll spend. He's good. And he's Mas Tech, everything, dude. He's Miami. He cares about it. So you're doing business with somebody that is part of our fabric. That Loria was never our fabric, bro. He was never one of us, and that's the problem. You can't do deals with people that aren't us.
But my point is that Billy Corbin, you should see. I'm gonna send it to you. You should.
Okay, I'll check it out. It's on his feed. Check it out.
It's entertaining as hell. It's entertaining as hell.
It's Billy Corbin.
Yes, it is.
It's Billy Corbin. All right.
You should have him on to talk about it.
I will. I saw the I Am Athlete. But it was short it was just Cap was short. It was just at the beginning there. I asked you something about this, and you said he answered it. He did not. You guys never asked him about the CFL.
Yes.
So I know, you guys talked to him about, you want to be a backup quarterback, which is so unrealistic. After all these years, nobody's going to sign him, especially to be a backup quarterback on top of all of that. In order to sign him, he would have to be good enough, and you feel that he's your starter, and he can be a franchise guy, so you can deal with all the crap. But you're not going to bring on the backup to then also deal with all the crap that comes with it.
I don't think there is all the crap. What is all the crap?
They will bring it up. It's not even if
for one press conference, what I found interesting. One, he addressed here. Let me explain this. We did a 35-minute interview. It was phenomenal. We always knew that whatever we did was going to have restrictions because the rights to his documentary has been sold to Disney. And it's being produced by Spike Lee. And in the contract, he's not allowed to have any sit-down interviews. Now, I don't know when he signed that contract, so that's not the reason why he's always been silent for 5 years. But Colin felt it was and Colin was convinced by Brandon that it was very important. If you really legitimately want to play and you want to have a chance and you see your window closing, if you really want to play in the NFL, you're going to have to speak. You're going to have to talk directly to the people and talk directly to these teams. And that's going to give you your only avenue. And which is the reason why after days of negotiations, we did get 8 minutes. And, but in the 35-minute, yes, he was asked about CFL, both Pac-Man and Ocho Cinco, who played in the CFL, said he did it. He enjoyed it. Why wouldn't you take that route? And he said, basically, I want to play at the highest level. I last played at the highest level I believe I'm talented enough, and nobody has proven to me that I'm not talented enough. And it's true. It's true.
Not. They
no,
told
yes,
Warren, dude, they told Warren Moon he wasn't good enough.
Let me ask you a question. Is Colin Kaepernick right now better than Mike Glennon? Is Colin Kaepernick better than Mike Glennon?
Probably.
Okay, done. Conversation is done.
Right.
Mike Glennon and Colt McCoy and Joe Flacco and bro, I can name you some bum number twos in the NFL right now that I can promise you Colin Kaepernick is better than. I can name you 4 teams right now he could start for.
Yeah, well, hold on a second. First of all, he can't run every offense. So he can't start.
But neither can Lamar Jackson.
That's my point.
So neither can Marcus Mariota. Neither can Baker Mayfield.
The teams are
don't bring that up if you're not going to mention that. Baker half the league can't start every offense.
Wait a minute.
Neither can Tua Tagovailoa.
Hold on a second. Baker may not be able to play because of his talent, but he is a pure pocket passer. So he can play in any offense that's pocket passing offense.
They're about to draft the number one quarterback.
Or not, that's one thing or the other. But Colin Kaepernick is not a pocket passer. So
he's not a pocket passer. But half of the league is Fields pocket passer? Justin Fields?
Who? Justin Fields?
Pocket passer.
He hasn't proven it yet.
All right, Marcus Mariota, pocket passer?
He hasn't proven any. Well, Marcus Mariota can't even stay healthy, and he's not
Malik Willis, who is about to be a top 10 pick, and
nobody knows what he is.
Is he a pocket passer?
Nobody knows what he is. He doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it.
And he's going to be handed a franchise.
That's my point.
Right now,
you can't compare him to other sorry ass quarterbacks that are also in pocket passing offenses, because those sorry ass quarterbacks fit that offense and Colin does not. So Colin can only fit in certain offenses. And here's the other thing.
That's not accurate. That's not accurate, fair, or reasonable, or smart.
Here's where I would have roasted Colin Kaepernick, and I would love to sit down and talk to him, because this is the millennial bullshit that goes on. What, is he above to go to the CFL? That's what I would have told him.
Yeah. In his mind, he is.
So then I would have told them, hey, Colin, wake up, baby. You're nothing like Warren Moon. You can't hold his jock.
Bro, nobody's playing in the CFL. Nobody's playing in the CFL. You can't name me the Dolphins quarterback who played in the CFL.
You're not Cam Wade.
No. This
You're
is
not better than Joe Theismann. You're not better than Jeff Garcia. You're not better than Ricky
That's
Williams.
a totally different era, bro.
You're not better than all these
Name the Dolphins quarterback on their roster right now that made his career in the CFL.
What?
Name the Dolphins quarterback who is on their roster right now who made his career, who made his name.
I can name you Mark Dixon and Cam Wade.
No, I'm talking about the one that's on their roster right now.
It doesn't matter. That's that's irrelevant 5 years later.
Okay, so you wanted him. No. That was 2 years ago.
Do you know how ridiculous it sounds when I watch you and the other 3 guys standing around this guy, and you're talking about a chance now? That's ridiculous. Nobody's going to give this clown a chance at this point in time. It's 5 years later. He's a quitter, bro. He's not Warren Moon. He's a freaking quitter, bro.
When did he quit?
He quit because he knew he can be a poster child instead.
No, when did he quit? Tell me, when did he quit? When did he quit? When did he quit?
When he got cut. That's it. When
he didn't.
5 years ago. 5 years ago, he quit.
No, he actually let the 49ers out of his contract with another team.
Not very smart.
Yeah, he wasn't very smart. And I certainly wouldn't have done it. You know, he's left $100 million on the table.
He's getting it back from Nike and all this other stuff. That's
why he's not. He's not making $100 million from Nike, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. See, people make up, and that's the thing. People make up information. He's making $2.5 million from Nike a year. Does that make up $100 million?
No, but what I'm saying is,
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. There's no money in what he does. There's no money.
My man, it is 15 over the last 5 years. And what's he getting from Disney for his documentary?
I don't know that. It doesn't equal $100 million, which is what he.
My point is,
on his contract.
My point is, if he didn't leave $100 million, he left one year. It wasn't $100 million.
He left $100 million on his contract when he was released. $100 million.
Omar,
I'm telling you fact. You're guessing.
Was that money guaranteed?
You're speculating.
Omar, was that money guaranteed? Was that money guaranteed?
It doesn't matter if it was guaranteed. Look at the quarterback. Look at the quarterback landscape.
You talk about contracts that aren't guaranteed, that don't count the money.
Look at the landscape of NFL quarterbacks.
That guy was never going to make, bro.
Chad Henne. Tell me, you want to know how much money Chad Henne is?
No.
As a bad quarterback?
No. Don't bring up other names. Bring up the fact that he's an effing quitter. That 5 years ago,
when did he quit? You're actually talking bullshit. When did he quit? What day did he quit football? What day did he say, "I'm not"?
5 years ago. 5 years ago.
No,
he's never played again.
5 years ago, he's been blackballed, and the NFL settled the lawsuit because they blackballed him.
And he could have gone to the CFL.
How do I quit something that you're preventing me from doing?
Omar,
you paid me money, acknowledging that you prevented me from doing.
What's the difference with Warren Moon getting cut and go to the CFL, Omar? They told him you can't.
Well, you're so caught up in the CFL. You know how many? Okay.
You know why? You know why I'm caught up in the CFL, baby? Because
you have a small mentality, right?
Can I finish here?
Yes.
If you care about your dream, you keep it alive. But the coward knew he wasn't going to be a real NFL quarterback in the end. He had his little run like Nick Foles, like Joe Flacco. That's all he had. He's a run. He wasn't a stud. He had a run. He had a run. He's
not a run. He was Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson.
I'm sitting there watching Chad Johnson kiss his ass like he's the second coming. Nothing, dude. He's nothing more than Nick Foles. He had a run, and it's over. If he had any balls, he would have gone to the CFL like Warren Moon, built up his career, and would have stuck it to the NFL because half the league doesn't have a quarterback. Half the fan base would have been trying
we disagree.
Get that guy out of the CFL and bring him to us. And
we disagree because it doesn't matter what he does.
Colin Kaepernick, if he would have kicked ass in the CFL, but because he doesn't have the balls and the character to go up to the CFL to prove himself.
We disagree.
He wants
you know why players don't go to the CFL? Because it's a bad business league.
He wants to be given something that he hasn't earned.
What has he not earned?
And earn it.
What has he not earned? An opportunity to play in the NFL?
Yeah, to be a starter.
Team to the Super Bowl.
I don't care about this backup crap. Who cares about
Mike Glennon has earned that opportunity, right? Joshua Dobbs has earned that opportunity.
That's my point. Why didn't you go to the CFL?
Let me keep playing this game with you. Let me keep playing. Mason Rudolph has earned that opportunity, right?
Yeah, they have.
Joe Flacco has earned that opportunity, right? Joe Flacco.
Omar,
here's my point. Here's my point to you. Listen to this. There are quarterbacks now that start in NFL games where if Joe Flacco or Mike Glennon, and you talked about it, how the Dolphins beat up on a series of trash booty quarterbacks. There are so many trash booty quarterbacks in the NFL that you absolutely know if my team plays them, this is a W for me.
That's right. And by the way, Colin Kaepernick ain't bailing you out of shit. That's the problem.
I disagree with you.
That's the problem. That when I saw that interview, I kept laughing at it because
you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it.
Like
you haven't seen him
coming, and
you haven't seen him. He's
it's the funny part is you guys have more confidence in his ability than he does in himself. That's the amazing part.
No, we just disagree.
My brother, when you have confidence in your ability, you don't allow somebody to tell you no.
Okay.
You overcome it. And he didn't have the balls
he's worked hard to not allow the NFL to tell him no, and they flat out told him no.
And the NFL told Warren Moon no, and he came back and stuck it to the NFL. And back then, a black quarterback was even lesser.
Bro, you're bringing up something from 30 years ago during a racist era of football.
Well, it makes it a little harder. Makes it a little harder.
But that's a completely different. That's a completely different core.
No, my man.
Then is not the CFL now. Let's not pretend like it is.
If you believe in yourself,
bro, that's stupid. Your thought process and your rationale is stupid because it's funny. All he's asking for is bring me in for a training camp as a camp body. Everybody's going to have 4 quarterbacks.
Why the hell should they? He's been out of football for 5 years.
Because he's better than half the quarterbacks that will be there as a camp body.
Nobody knows.
Do you want to win or not? Do you care? Do you care?
No, I don't. No, I don't give a shit about him at all.
No. I didn't ask you if you give a shit about him. As your team, do you want?
Listen, he's a quitter in my eyes. So why would I want a quitter in my eyes?
Because you don't believe in facts. That's why.
No. I believe in.
Trust me. He's better than Jacoby Brissett.
I believe in.
No question about it. No question about it. Everything about him was better than Jacoby Brissett. Now that I think about it, so way more athletic, way better.
But the only problem is Jacoby Brissett is more dedicated to his craft than he is.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure.
Warren Moon was dedicated more to his craft than he is.
Sure, okay. You want to believe in fiction, you go for it. Like I don't.
People have been told no.
I could say
had to go to minor leagues. They had to go overseas and play
basketball. There are 96 quarterbacks that are going to be on NFL 53-man rosters. He's easily top 50. And that's not even counting all the people who are going to be camp arms or camp bodies, all the Brandon Downs
but unfortunately, you can't be a musician when you're not actually playing music. You can't
Chase Daniels of the world.
When you actually don't play
Marcus Mariota's of the world. Like, bro, he could go to Atlanta right now and beat Marcus Mariota. Probably would have.
No, but unfortunately, he gave up on his career.
Everybody is not interested in winning. Everybody is not interested in having
unlike Marcus Mariota, who has bounced around several teams and been told you're not good enough, but he still fights it. Unlike Tua, who busts up a hip and still comes back.
CJ Beathard. I'm sorry. You can name so many crumb quarterbacks.
Alex Smith gets his leg crushed, and he loves the game so much that he rehabs just to come back to prove again he can play the game.
Like, bro, you can't like keep bringing. I could drown you with mediocre, horrible quarterbacks like Cooper Rush,
and you're mostly drowning. You're mostly drowning me with political nonsense that kept him out.
Brandon Allen. Like, if you're saying that he doesn't deserve an opportunity to compete in a training camp, the mythology that's been out.
He doesn't play football. He doesn't play football.
The mythology that's been out there.
Omar, you get cut and you go to another league, Omar. That's what people do to keep their dream alive.
He hasn't wanted to play for. He hasn't wanted to be a backup
in the CFL.
He wasn't been willing to play for the minimum. He extinguished all that. He says, I will be a backup. I am willing to play for the minimum.
But once you get blackballed,
that's the perception that people put out there. Assume to feed people like you who want to. He doesn't deserve the opportunity. And
Omar, he was blackballed, right?
Yeah,
he was blackballed. How do you beat blackballed? How do you beat it? How do you beat it?
Suing them.
Huh?
By suing them.
Oh, really? Did that get you on the field, Omar?
No.
You lost. Okay. So
no, you won. You won. They paid you a multi-million-dollar settlement.
I get you, my brother. You have a hard time taking an L when you're wrong.
No.
Okay. When
did he not get a multi-million-dollar settlement from the NFL?
When somebody doubts you, you go prove it to them somewhere else.
Okay.
And that's lots of other players, musicians, actors, all kinds of people. Oh, you can't be in A movies anymore. You can only be in B movies or TV. well, then you go and kick ass. You try to win a Tony, and you make your way back to the
if
movie.
you say so. There's no.
That's not what I say.
There's
So
absolutely no reason.
That's what I live every day, my brother.
There is absolutely no reason that an NFL team has an ad
anymore. But I don't work on local radio. But I keep it alive, right?
There's absolutely no reason an NFL team has to say we won't bring you in for a workout, or we won't give you to a minimum contract because we got Case Keenum or Brandon Allen on our roster.
That's their right, bro. That's their right.
There's no reason.
Right. No, there is a reason. They own the team. You don't. So the way you do it is you go to the CFL, you kick ass, and
even then, the naysayers will say it wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
even then, the circumstances.
So wait a minute. So you think if he goes to the CFL and balls out, he doesn't force his way back?
I don't think there's anything that he can do. Me personally, I don't think there's anything that he can do.
No, you said suing. No, you said suing, bro.
I mean, suing gets you the money.
Oh, yeah. You said suing would get him back.
If I sue you to prove that you're blackballing me from being in your league and doing something, and you settle it, it's kind of an acknowledgement of guilt. Everybody knows he's being blackballed. Every single body knows he's being blackballed. It's not even debatable.
By the way, you think he's
here's the point.
Is he the first person to be blackballed?
Oh,
plenty of people have been blackballed and shunned and whatever in society for one thing or another, and then they find a way to get back. Plenty of people
trying to find a way to get back to the NFL. He disagrees with your route.
Dude never fought back. Never
fought back because he chose not to play in the CFL, right?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. That's where you go to keep the dream alive, and he didn't want to keep it alive, my brother.
Name me 3 CFL players right now. Name me 3 guys that come from the CFL outside of Cameron Wake.
Joe Theismann, Warren Moon, Jeff Garcia, Mark Dixon.
I'm talking about
that's 4. Huh?
From this era. I
don't care about this era, Omar.
Yeah, you can't even name
Omar. Arguments aren't about your convenience, my brother. They're about facts.
Okay.
The facts
the
are
fact is Gordon and playing in the CFL does not write his ticket back to the NFL. The fact is Gordon and playing in the CFL does not write his ticket back to the NFL. It just does in your imagination because you want to create another line, another.
No, it's not. The facts are people have gone to the CFL to come back and make it to the NFL.
Okay, and the facts are that your reasoning that he needs to go do this to prove that he deserves to be in the NFL, that doesn't prove or open the door.
Okay, I guess he's better.
It does not.
I guess he's better than Cam Wake and Warren Moon.
It does not. Yes, you know why? Because the last time he legitimately played, he was leading the team to the Super Bowl. They didn't.
No, that's fine. They
didn't.
Nick Foles.
The last time he had a 29 and 30 record as an NFL starter. He's got an 88 career passer rating.
Yeah, and Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. That does nothing for me, bro. A flash in the pan for a couple of years does nothing for me, man.
If you employ people in the NFL that are worse than me,
it was a window.
If you employ people in the NFL that are worse than me, and you choose not to even look at me, I'm assuming it has way more to do than my ability. So
you force
them and me going to the CFL and playing on a roster with different rules. All they'll do is sit there and make whatever excuses they'd like to make to say, they will.
If you're a quarterback and you're kicking ass, the NFL is going to sign you, bro, because half the league doesn't have a quarterback.
That's not true. That's not true.
You would have given up just like him.
Okay, in your mind, because we don't agree with your line of thinking, it's giving up. Yes.
Of course, because I'm not a guy that gives up. I'm a guy that fights all the way to the end. I didn't see him fight, bro. Hell, you know what? While everybody was doing all their protesting, I didn't see him front and center in these protests either. He doesn't
Why
fight.
did he need to? He answered that. He answered that in the show. Why did he need to participate in the protests? Why?
Maybe because you're the face of it.
He didn't make. Did he make himself the face of it?
I'm just saying, you're the face of it. You did make, yes, by kneeling and starting it, you made yourself the face, Omar. So unfortunately, see, the problem is you allow him to get away from responsibilities. And if you're going to be a real leader of that cause, then you got to be front and center. Like,
and who says he hasn't been working for that cause? Who says he hasn't? You know, if you watch the whole segment, and you hear Pac-Man ask him, why have you been so low key? And he says, the reason I've been so low key is to kill that narrative that, hey, if we sign you, you're going to be a distraction. You're going to be, on this crusade.
And you believe that he believes that?
And you're gonna be a detriment to the team. He addressed that. He's like, I've been doing what I've been doing behind the scenes for 5 years. Nobody's heard about it.
This guy
nobody's heard about it. Nobody's seen it, but I'm still able to do the work. But I've been low key with the hope that some team would say, hey, he's not going to be a distraction. But that didn't change the narrative. That hasn't changed the narrative because people keep moving. People like you keep moving the line. Whenever you do
I don't move the line at all, bro. I've kept the line in the same place. I'm going to move the line 6 feet further. You're a quitter. You didn't really want to be a
quarterback. So I have to go play. So he has to go play in the CFL.
And when it comes to fighting for a cause, everybody fought for the cause except him.
So he has to go play in the CFL for him to deserve a chance to play in the NFL, right?
Yep, that's right. Playing in the NFL. Because he's not better than Hall of Famer Warren Moon. Because he's not better
than Brandon Allen.
Honor Cam
he's better
Wade.
than Joe Flacco. He's better than
I'm saying
he's better than
you don't understand.
Rush.
You don't understand.
He's better than
no.
He's better than Tim Boyle. You know who Tim Boyle is for?
I'm not talking about talent.
Number 2 in the Detroit Lions. Nobody has an excuse.
You're rattling on and talking stuff that has
Sam Eglin.
I'm not talking talent. I'm talking human being.
Royce Freeman.
Warren Moon.
I think he's showing you that he's a stellar human being.
Bro.
I think he's showing you that he's a stellar human being.
Men fought for what they wanted. Warren Moon fought for what he wanted. The coward Colin Kaepernick went hiding. Colin Kaepernick is nothing.
Hell, Marcus Mariota, that's 50%.
A coward that hides behind a cause. And everybody else fights for the cause except the coward, Colin Kaepernick. He has in my book, he has no cojones.
Kellen Mond, who I actually like in the draft process.
Colin Kaepernick is the kid
Minnesota Vikings backup,
and he goes home and cries like a little bitch.
Mike Glennon.
That's Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick
can do exactly what Taysom Hill is doing in the NFL.
He's a Hall of Fame quitter is what he is.
I said Joe Flacco.
Don't give him any more breaks.
Mason Rudolph. What about Kyle Trask?
You keep worrying. They play
Geno
football.
Smith.
They play football.
Geno Smith. Can I get a Geno Smith?
Colin Kaepernick.
Can I get a Geno Smith? Geno Smith was garbage in the NFL last year.
And he plays football.
Can I get a Geno Smith who's competing in the Seattle Seahawks?
He plays football. He plays football.
You tell me Colin Kaepernick can't be out Geno Smith.
What's Colin Kaepernick playing?
I watched Geno Smith and Colin Kaepernick practice. You telling me
you haven't watched Colin Kaepernick practice
here in South Florida?
Having him practice with a bunch of out of shape players is not practicing.
He was practicing with Jarvis Landry. He was practicing your boy Jakeem Grant, David Njoku. Like
Jakeem Grant was there.
Yes, Jakeem Grant was there. Yes, Jakeem Grant catching deep balls. So.
So did you congratulate him?
That's the problem with the media when it comes to Colin Kaepernick. They make up fiction. They say that in their little story, and they repeat that, hey, Colin Kaepernick turned out an offer because he wouldn't be a backup in Seattle. Colin Kaepernick's turned out an offer because he wouldn't play for the minimum. All of that he addressed is fact.
I know because he's too good for it.
None of it's fact.
He's too good for it. He's too good for it, bro.
None of it's fact.
He's too good for it. He's not good enough to do the things Warren Moon did, bro. He's above that.
Yeah, he's yes.
Pedestal.
Bro,
he doesn't belong in, but whatever.
Do we need to go? Tyler Heineke. I'm saying maybe he's 50-50.
Hey, listen, if Colin Kaepernick wants to strap on his little thing, he comes and does an interview with me.
Woodside.
I'll put his ass in a corner. I'll have Colin Kaepernick crying. Okay? When Colin Kaepernick wants a real interview, he comes here.
Tannehill's backup. Logan Woodside. I want to educate you. Logan Woodside.
You keep talking about talent. I don't care about talent anymore.
Exactly.
I'm not worried about that.
And then when your quarterback
players that actually play football.
And then when your quarterback gets hurt,
doesn't play football. He doesn't play football.
Your organization and your team's a walking L because you don't have a backup of Colin Kaepernick's caliber. You say to yourself, "Oh well."
Who's Colin Kaepernick, bro? He's only great in your eyes, dude.
Okay.
He's only great in your eyes.
There's a select amount of quarterbacks in the NFL.
He was actually great.
$100 million deal from an NFL
team. Somebody would want him, bro. Nobody wants him.
Probably maybe 20 quarterbacks in the NFL.
PR machine, bro.
Not even Ryan Tannehill got $100 million deal. I don't even think he got $100 million on his second.
None of it is guaranteed, Omar. None of it is guaranteed.
There's a select amount of quarterbacks in NFL history that ever got $100 million deal. Colin Kaepernick's one of them. $116 million over 5 years.
I don't care.
Somebody wasn't good.
That does nothing for a quitter. No, does nothing for a quitter. That moron left his last year on the table.
Did I mention Blaine Gabbert? Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, the guy that beat him out. I know that has nothing to do with it. I don't care about that stuff. They actually play football. Colin plays with himself. That's what he's been doing for 5 years, playing with himself. Last time I checked, when you stroke the lizard, that doesn't get you anything in the NFL. Stroking the lizard doesn't get you an opportunity in the NFL, Omar. Playing with yourself doesn't get you anywhere. But because he doesn't play with others, guess what? He doesn't play with others.
Sam Eichler, that Linger.
No, I know. He's too good of a human being. He's way better than Warren Moon. He's above going to the CFL. You and Colin Kaepernick just shed the light. That's all it is. It's a little millennial bullshit. That they don't want to pay their dues.
Still cashing them NFL.
Chad Henne plays football every year and is dedicated. Colin Kaepernick is not dedicated to football. He bullshits people like you and the other 3 guys that were interviewing him about this crap. That's what he does. He fools people about wanting to play football. But
no, he's being blackballed.
He doesn't have the cojones to play football.
Let me ask you a question. Why hasn't an NFL team just actually brought him in for a workout?
It's called PR.
Just to see. Why hasn't
just a little PR is what they do.
He's walking the face of the earth, able to throw the ball 70 yards. Still runs a 4.4. Why hasn't a team?
I think Jamarcus Russell on Purple Drank can also throw it for 70 yards, bro.
That's true. That's fact. That's fact. You're right. But Jamarcus Russell can't run a 4.4. Why hasn't he?
Can't run an 8.4.
Why hasn't anybody brought him in for a workout?
He doesn't play football. Where's the tape? There's a tape of him, but it's probably masturbation, not playing football.
Chase Daniels
plays football. They all play football. They all play football. They're all dedicated. They're all dedicated to their craft.
Ryan Hoyer.
Yep, they're all dedicated. They'll go to the CFL. They'll go to the XFL. They'll go to the UFL. They'll go to the AAFL. They'll go to all the leagues. But he won't.
Joe Flacco, who I know is trash, right? And I'm a Joe Flacco fan. You know I've been a Joe Flacco fan.
Joe Flacco went 11 touchdowns, no interceptions, won a Super Bowl, and is dedicated to his craft.
Mason Rudolph.
Unlike Colin Kaepernick, not dedicated to his craft.
Kyle Trask. Geno Smith. That's the one that really sits with me.
Don't pick on Edison's finest. What's wrong with you?
Listen, Logan Woodside
plays football. I'm just telling you. There's no tape.
He's got to give an opportunity. He's not blackballed.
Colin Kaepernick throwing it to Chad Johnson, who's retired. That does nothing, bro. There's nothing. Go actually play football.
On the,
Go play real football, and then maybe. But now it's too late. That you got. All of you have to stop in the media with this story. Kill the story already. Colin Kaepernick will never play in the NFL. He chose not to play in the NFL, and now at this time, it's way over. He'll never play in the NFL. I mean, please, can we stop already? It's like the craziest thing.
His name is Chris Streveler. Chris Streveler. He's the Dolphins quarterback who spent 2 years in the CFL, just so you know. Just so you can educate yourself. Since you're such a big CFL fan. And
I'm just saying.
You don't even know his name.
You do whatever it takes to keep
you do whatever it takes. It's South Dakota's finest. I don't know what CFL team he played for. You might want to ask your fans for that, so that you know.
I'm sure. But by the way, not that I keep up with it, but I'm sure there's 2 or 3 guys right now in the NFL that played in the CFL and got back here one way or another. I'm sure there are.
Played in the CFL and got back. Yeah, they're 3. They're
because if we've had them, we're gonna have a guy in the Ring of Honor from the CFL. Okay, Cam Wake is going to the Ring of Honor. Seriously? Did you just say that? I didn't say Hall of Fame. I didn't say Hall of Fame. I said Ring of Honor.
I know. And I'm a big supporter of that. I've brought that stuff. If Cam doesn't, Rashad Jones
how are you going to tell me Cam is not a Ring of Honor guy, bro?
I'm not arguing with you.
Okay.
Right. I think he's a Hall of Fame. You put his CFL numbers.
I don't know about Hall of Fame. That might be a little different.
CFL, it's the football Hall of Fame, not the NFL Hall of Fame. Put the CFL.
I get what you're saying, but you know, because of
it is the football Hall of Fame, not the NFL Hall of Fame.
I know, but I look at him more as a sack artist than I do a
put the CFL. It is the CFL.
The Hall of Fame one is the Hall of Fame one is a gray area, but he is definitely Ring of Honor. Definitely.
I hope so. Why hasn't it been done then?
I don't know. Do they wait a couple of years?
I don't know. I got to work that up
because it's only been 2 or 3 years, right? 3 years.
Rashad Jones is a Ring of Honor player too. Rashad Jones has safety records.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with Rashad Jones. I have no problem with Rashad Jones, but I'm just saying Cam Wake is a CFLer that's in the Ring of Honor. So that's all I'm saying. CFLer. Okay, that's all.
Sam,
all right, what are you working on the Sun Sentinel that isn't a Colin Kaepernick story?
Chris Streveler. I'm going to do profile on Chris Streveler since he goes such a lover of the CFL. I'm going to demand that I sit down and talk to him.
Damn right.
Quarterback.
Damn right. And I want to read about the origins of the Grey Cup.
It's about Chris Gross press conference tomorrow. Your Tuanon is going to be in an uproar because I'll probably write we're also talking to Tua Tagovailoa, and I'm interested in what his tone will be and how he'll sidestep every question. And I'm primarily interested in what is he going to do to step up and become a better leader. That's one of I
think winning will be the leader he needs. All right, doggy. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly and reach out to him and tell him he's full of crap with Colin Kaepernick. We'll see you later on in the week, brother.
How many quarterbacks? Geno Smith, bro. Geno Smith.
I know, but he actually plays football. He kept his dream alive. He didn't quit. We talk about
that's how he kept his dream alive.
Quitters. We don't talk quitters here. No quitting here. There's no quitting on this show. None. No quitting.
I'm done.
No. Later. Omar Kelly, EJD.